In this film, we're going to go through analyzing text and film and how you can do that on the basis of looking for evidence for your interpretation. This model is perfect for when you have a question already, or a topic or a thesis that you want to dig deeper into and look more closely at the text or the film to see if your conclusions are supported. That is why we have conclusions on this side. That's the ideas you have of what this film or this text could be about. And proof on the other side, proof that supports your conclusions. Now in this case, we're dealing with the text on Harry Potter, and the topic is the role of love in the texts about Harry Potter. The conclusions that we are set to investigate is that love is power, and that love separates good from evil in the example of Harry Potter. Now, where can we find the evidence for the two conclusions, love is power and love separates good from evil? Well, if we reread the texts and look carefully, we find examples, for example, on page 231, where it says that Lily's love protects Harry Potter from Voldemort. Now, Lily is Harry Potter's mother, and she died in an act of love to protect Harry Potter. That means that he's protected by her charms, so that Voldemort can't kill him. Also, we see that Snape's love for Lily, his young love for Lily, makes him protect Harry Potter even though he doesn't want to. So he still protects him from Voldemort, lies to Voldemort, and betrays Voldemort in order to cherish his love for Lily even though she's dead. Conversely, on the other side, we can see that Tom Riddle, in other words Voldemort, he refuses love and trust in his youth, and that leads to evil. So we can see that love is the power that protects, but rejecting love also leads to a darker side. We can also see that Voldemort doesn't trust love and seeks power instead, for example on page 329. And also we could see that if you want to find proof that love separates good from evil, we could see that Narcissa, Draco Malfoy's mother, betrays Voldemort to save her son Draco. So she chooses the son that she loves in order for her to do away with power that is promised by Voldemort and instead protect her only son. Now these arrows going both back and forth has a meaning. It would be quite possible for us to read the book and make notes of all the kind of interesting things. When it comes to love in the text, we could find all kinds of different things in the text before we actually come to a conclusion. So we might as well have gone from the other side, making notes on what love means, and then after sitting thinking about it for a while, come to the conclusion that love is power, or love is the thing that separates good from evil. Lastly, I want to look at where we can find evidence to support our arguments. Now you can find these in different aspects of the text. For example, you can look closely at the plot. What events are important, and who does what to when? Are there special turning points in the plot where it changes direction, and what does this mean to the topic we are investigating? The same goes for characters. Are there any specific looks or personalities within the characters that explain their place in the plot, or explains the topic you want to investigate? You can also look at, for example, writing techniques like using metaphors or similes to connect properties of the different characters with other things, like for example showing that somebody is valuable by saying she's a gem, or saying that somebody is like something else, for example light as a feather or strong as an ox. Usually when they use metaphors or similes, it is used in connection with things that are important in the text or in the plot. Also, we can look at symbols. Symbols are also usually used to emphasize or to make important aspects of the plot or the story that seem to be important for the main topic of the story. Like, for example, in Harry Potter, snakes are very prevalent or very common, and snakes as the old representative of evil. Also, we have Dumbledore's beard, which is an ancient sign of wisdom. A person with a long beard is also a wise person. Then we have language, and how words and accents or dialects are being used to create a message. Compare, for example, Hagrid and his way of speaking with Draco Malfoy and his parents, where you have two very different kinds of families or backgrounds, where the way of speaking clearly shows class distinction between upper class and working or lower class. And lastly, but not least, we've got the names. Names often carry a meaning. For example, Draco Malfoy's mother, Narcissa, comes from the name Narcissus from Greek mythology, of a person so much in love with himself that he starved to death by looking into his own mirror image. Now, Narcissa is, like Narcissus, full of herself, and she doesn't care much about others except for her own beautiful family. Another example is Sirius, the godfather of Harry Potter, which is also a name of a star, a sort of a guiding light or a guiding star in Harry's life in many ways. So just to recap, this analysis model is all about starting with a question or a topic to look into. And after you've done that, you can read or listen to the text. And while you're reading or listening, you make constant notes, and you can make notes on either side. You can collect all kinds of different examples of things you find interesting, and then come with conclusions. Or you can come up with conclusions while reading, and then go back and start collecting examples and proof that your conclusions are correct. And I hope this has helped you understand how to make an analysis of a text or a film, and wish you good luck.